Greetings, my wonderful mates. My name is Florina, swole, handsome but cute, and we have returned back to Girls. It has indeed been a busy day, but a good one nonetheless. Perhaps I should thank the girls. We've only got one, not both. Thank Ayase. Taking a skim through the website on my phone, I can't help but think of just how hard everyone has worked to make this thing a reality. And so fast too. The memory of Ayase acting all flustered from nearly missing work still spreads a smile across my face. And I still have to thank Kotori for providing the illustration. She's got some mad talent here. The one I still have to thank though for her hard work today and on the website is Ayase. I knew she had to write some code in order to get some custom functionality into the site. The thing is, I have no clue as to what that all involved. I step out of my office and into the cafe just as Ayase was heading out. In fact, we only bumped into each other trying to walk past the kitchen. Hello there. I'm sorry, Ayase. Talk about some bad timing. No worries. It'll take more than that to knock me over. The near collision ends as a good laugh as we both make our way to the dining area. Before Ayase can leave though, I stop at the door. I want to make sure to thank her properly this time. She deserves at least that much. You got a minute, Ayase-san? Sure. What you need? I drop down in the nearest chair and Ayase steps over, sitting down across from me. Maybe I should make this a regular thing. One-on-one conversations with the employees. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea indeed. I just wanted to thank you for all of your hard work you've been doing, between working on the website and being so understanding with the schedule changes and everything. I really appreciate it. Oh, that's what this is? Yep, that's what this is. What did you think this was about? Oh, nothing. Ayase lets out a cute laugh, relaxing back in her chair. Maybe she thought I wanted to speak to her about earlier and the noise levels. I struggle off and move instead of a website. Well, Ayase, what did you think we were going to discuss about? Something really provocative? Thanks again for your help with the website too. Was it a lot of work? Nah, once Ayase showed me what she needed, it was a breeze. I did struggle for a bit with triggering menu animations, but I just had things wired up to the wrong event. You get into territory that's way too over my head. It's not that complicated. Not like I was multi-threading or anything. Gonna stand there blinking. Like that blinking sound effect. I'm lost. Ayase said the same thing. I bet she did. So then, do you still spend some time coding? Not really. I'll read some blogs here and there. Sometimes poke at a project or two, but that's about it. Wow, she could have fooled me. The way Ayase spoke gave the impression she could reprogram the entire POS system at the cafe. Who knows? Maybe she could and is just keeping it secret. Magicians do not reveal their secrets at the moment. Or at all. Ayase's one of them. We're all magicians in our own ways. So how long did it take to finish? Hope that you weren't up all night like Ayase. Not all night. It was after midnight, but not by much, I think. You think. So casual about it. Anything after 11 for me and I'll be dead the next morning. That's still late. Ayase shrugs it off. She's young, of course, it wouldn't bother her. Not that I'm an old geezer, but well, some days I feel old. And some people make us feel old. Of course, I'm used to living with my parents and getting my ear nagged off for daring to stay up past 10. Glad I'm finally out of that place. I can have my own freedom, my own bedtime story. That said though, this is my first time out on my own. I take a glance out the window and see some of the stores across the street. Something wrong, Florina-san? Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking about non-work stuff. I try to casually dismiss the topic, but Ayase takes an interest. Her ears perk up and she leans in. Like what? Anything I can help with? I'm a bit surprised at her offer, but then again, why should I be? Since starting to work here, Ayase and I have really grown close. I'd almost say we're even becoming friends. What do you mean becoming? We were destined to be best friends. She's been right there whenever I needed her. Sure, why not? Well, it's nothing big. It's just my first time living alone, and I guess I just don't know what to do with myself. Parents did a lot of shopping and organizing. Ayase leans back, nodding her head. Ah, I see. You've come to the right person. I know all kinds of things you can do. Like what? Like, there's this great thrift shop I like to go to. It's not far from here and has some amazing deals. I managed to get my phone there. Second hand, a little tinkering, and it's just like new. I don't know if I can fix a phone. I don't think Ayase is trying to get you to do that. Well, they still have a lot of clothes for dirt cheap and some appliances. And furniture too. Definitely worth a check. I'll make note of that. Furniture can be ungodly expensive these days. Same with appliances. If I manage to find something slightly used and in good condition, that's money saved for the rent. Also, if you keep an eye out in the paper, there's usually some good sales at the supermarket. I plan out all of my trips to only buy stuff on sale, and then stock up for cheap. That's not a bad idea either. Ayase seems to be on a roll, like I've unlocked something inside her. Also, you can make some extra money by walking people's dogs and helping with garbage cleanup. Ayase continues to talk about ways to save money and also earn a little on the side. Even down to small things like reusing disposable containers to avoid buying the expensive plastic ones. I smile as I nod along and listen. But something is off. Is Ayase struggling financially? She looks super happy when she's here. Anyone would guess Ayase is just another girl without a care in the world. But there's always so much more within the depths of a person than we see on the surface. But the most frugal things that she does to save money, everything counts it seems. And here I tend to ignore the occasional 100 yen coin on the street, whereas I'm sure Ayase would immediately pocket it like if it's a piece of gold. I can't say anything though. I don't want to make things awkward, and Ayase is enjoying our conversation. Looks like I've got plenty of ideas to work with. I know just who to turn to if my lonely lifestyle goes south. Now you're talking. Just leave it to me and I'll show you the way. Forward march. I say enthusiastically and manage to pull a smile from her. It's only then that I check the time and see we've been BSing for over an hour. Well, thank you Ayase again for all of your hard work and all of your help. But maybe we ought to call it a night? No problem, I've got nowhere to be. Yeah, I kind of do though, it's called bed. Damn. Ayase laughs again as we both stand up to end our little meeting. It feels good to have a chat with Ayase. I feel like I think I've grown closer to her as well. We'll see you Wednesday, Ayase-san. Take it easy. You know me. Yes, I know you. That's why I'm telling you to take it easy. You're a hard worker. But make sure now again to take it easy. That's why we have to reaffirm it. I wave Ayase off as she exits the cafe and is gone. I go to work locking things up and shutting off the lights. It's only then that I realise I completely missed Sina. She probably left while Ayase and I were chatting. More than likely she didn't want to disturb us, as polite as always. Once everything's accounted for, I head out of the cafe and to my apartment for a good night's rest. Say nothing and go home? Then again, perhaps I should let the girls enjoy the rest of their evening. It's been a busy day, and to be honest, with how tired I am, I'm ready for a quick meal and an early bedtime. Yes, Hayasaka and Ayase tend to be the more exhaustive ones when it comes to the pairings. Talk to Ayase. Hello there. You okay there, Ayase? You seem to be fidgeting around. Watching everyone wandering off into their own direction, I notice Ayase hanging back. At first it appears as though she is waiting for someone. I start to approach her, wanting to make sure that everything is alright. When she sees me though, her face lights up into a smile and Ayase comes jogging over to me. I guess she was waiting for me. Florina-san, that party was amazing! Thank you so much. I'm glad you had fun. Oh, it was a blast. And the food was good too. You really gotten good at cooking, sorry. The building's still standing, is it? Yep, and nothing is ablaze. Except the party. The party was ablaze. Well, pancakes are pretty hard to screw up. You're right, you probably need a different manager if I couldn't make a simple pile of pancakes. Nasakan would kick you out herself. We both have a good laugh at the comment. She's not wrong. What kind of a manager works at a cafe and can't cook up a simple stack of pancakes? Laughing stock wouldn't even begin to describe it. But as our chuckles die down, Ayase loses her smile. It fades away into the night and she bites her lip, suddenly very conflicted. No. Even if you couldn't make pancakes, I'd want you to stay. You're too good at your job. Are you sure about that one? I mean, we haven't been here for that long. I don't know how good I am, but I'm not going anywhere. You're not perfect. Thank you. But alas, that is honesty. But you've done a lot more than the last guy, even if he was fun to tease. He didn't care about our website or throw parties like you did. Ayase-san. The only reason I could even do those things was because of you girls. You're still much better than he was. He didn't do much. I've heard random comments about Ayase and the last manager. Not many found the guy to be anything special, but Ayase got along with him. Maybe he was a more mellow individual. It's almost a little surprising then to hear her firm preference in me over him as the manager. What was he like? Skittish, very jumpy. He was easy to tease. He once thought we lost the day's take cause the cash register was empty and all I did was empty it out into the safe. We teased him good on that one for days. Poor guy. Oh damn, yeah, I know for sure I'd have died from a stroke right then and there, knowing what I would do about the cafe and its situation. The poor blank probably thought the owner would rain down fire and brimstone on his sorry ass, and I wouldn't blame him for thinking so. That sounds extreme. Maybe his head wasn't screwed on right. But look at his face though. But he was really funny. I liked him. And then he suddenly got up and left, didn't even say goodbye. That sounds rough. I'm sorry he left you. Never heard from him after that. You're not planning on leaving, are you, Florina-san? I have absolutely zero plans on leaving. The future is only set at Girls 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 Cafe. Of course not. Where else would I get to work with such wonderful maids? Nowhere. That's why I like you, Florina-san. You get us. It's impossible not to just smile ear to ear from that statement. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm working so hard, to see smiles like hers. Thanks, Ayase-san. I don't know what else to say to her kind words. She's being quite earnest tonight. Maybe it's because of the alcohol, or maybe it's because of the star-studded night. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say something was still bothering her. The smile she's wearing, while very cute, has all the signs of a forced smile. Almost like somebody put plasters on both ends of her mouth just to keep them up. She's wanting to ask me something, I know it. But it's like she can't bring herself to ask. Everything alright, Ayase-san? Ayase fumbles with her hands, looking away from me. I don't want to force her to talk to me, but if there's anything I can help with, I want her to know that I'm here. If there's anything I can help with, I'd love to know. Ayase? Ayase shifts a bit before finally looking back at me. She lets out a sigh and nods. There is something I've been worrying about. You split our schedules up to save money, right? Yes, that's right. So, if something ever happened and things got worse, what would you do? What would I do? Yeah, like if the cafe tanked and you needed to fire someone to save money. Who would you fire? I would not. Do you think it's that bad? Yeah, it's actually bad. Yeah, well, you were so worried about saving money, dropping hours, and doing all kinds of things. I thought for sure we were going to be next. The cafe really sounded like it was in trouble. My heart nearly stops when she says that. Did she figure it out? That we're in the red? Or maybe everyone knows and it's not just her. Maybe they just don't want to say anything to worry me, just like I don't want to worry them. What should I do? A moment of panic sets in. Part of me wants to spill the beans, apologize to her and promise things will be alright. But does she really know? I could be overblowing this whole situation and be worried over nothing. I better not take the risk. I don't want to accidentally leak anything to Ayase or any of the others. There's no need in making them worry about something we've got a handle on. After all, I threw this party and gave them tomorrow off because we'd made so much progress. Listen, no one, and I repeat, no one's getting fired. No one's going anywhere. Do you think we'll be able to party like we did if the cafe was in trouble? I guess not. But if something did happen, you'd tell us, right? Of course. You girls mean too much to me to leave you hanging like that. And it's also called transparency. Good. This job is important to me. It's important to everyone. I need it. Of course. I remember Ayase mentioning all those frugal things she would do to save and make money. Somehow get the things she needs this job more than anyone. For her sake, as much as anyone's. I do hope that everything works out. A sour taste does linger though in my mouth. I just told Ayase I'd let everyone know if something happened. Yet here I am keeping my lips sealed over the cafe being in the red. Everything will be fine. I need to start believing that. When do you think we'll be back to full time? She's concerned but not fraught with worry. The question actually comes out rather casual. I'm not sure. Might take a couple weeks yet. But I'll get in touch with the owner and get his thoughts on everything. I hope it happens soon. I've been seeing everyone every day. I do too. It's not the same without you. Flarina-san? Can I ask you something? Sure. Whatever you want. Ayase shifts from side to side, a shy smile spread over her face. This is one of the first times she's acted so coy around me. If you're not busy tomorrow, do you want to maybe go for a jog together? Yes! We would love to. A jog? Is that her idea of a date? It's not actually an invitation out to dinner or anything. Then again, Ayase is actually well versed in dating techniques. Are any of us to judge if we're good at dating or not? I don't claim to be an expert myself, but her body language alone is enough to tell me that this is more than a mere exercise routine. Just a jog? More than just a jog. Maybe hanging out after the jog too? I chuckle. Now this is starting to sound more like a date, well as much as a date as it'd be with Ayase. She's very sweet to ask, and seeing her waiting so expectantly for an answer, I can't leave her hanging. We cannot say for sure that we are busy or not, but one thing is for certain is that this is going to be the most difficult decision in my life, whether or not to say that I'm busy or actually no, this is a conclusive outcome and it's going to be yes. How could I say no to her when she's making such a cute face? Okay, exterior man, and asking so sweetly. That's better though. It'd be tough for me to turn her down. Besides, Ayase has helped me in good spirits these past few weeks. She's right there when I need something, with a smile on her face, ready to help. I owe her a lot. Sure, a morning jog sounds great. I'd love to. Awesome. You won't regret it. How could I? I'll be with you. A smooth talker. I laugh. That's the first time anyone has called me a smooth talker. Typically, I'm anything but that. I'm not complaining though. Take the complaints as they come. So, what should I wear? I don't exactly go running all that much. No, be more honest. You haven't gone running at all. I can tell. The t-shirts are fine, and if you get some sweats, those will work. Or shorts. Nothing fancy. Whatever's comfortable, yes. With any kind of exercise, it's got to be comfortable wear. I'm not exactly dressing to the nines on this one. Quite the opposite. Feels like I'll be walking out of bed into the street in my pajamas. Easy enough. And good running shoes. Yep, that's also a key as well. Don't want you running in no high heels. I'm not planning on putting holes in the ground. She gives me a sly look and I just shake my head. I turned an ankle just trying to stand in the damn things, let alone walking in them. No, I've got shoes I can wear. This is not the agony range. Don't have to worry about that. Like, I don't understand how women are able to say that high heels are comfortable. For goodness sakes, your foot is always permanently off the ground. Thank you, Florina-san. I'm glad you're here. I think you already said that. Then I'm saying it again and again. Did I just say it already? Well, we'll say it again. She really is sweet. We linger for a little while longer until Ayase decides she'd better be going. We say our goodbyes and the blondie disappears down the street. Leave me alone next to the cafe. It feels empty without her by my side. All the more reason for me to go home and go to bed. Get to bed. Without she took off, I'll have a hell of a time keeping up with her tomorrow. It's all good practice. Maybe she'll even slow down for you. Wandering off into Akihabara, I make my way back to the apartment and into the lovely confines of my lovely, fluffy, I was about to say delicious bed. There we go. Seen it as always at a cafe. Sunday. It's finally Sunday. It's also 6 in the morning. What am I doing up? Is this time reserved for work days? Oh yeah, the day. I'm so groggy I almost forgot that today's my big date with Ayase. Lack of sleep will do that to a person. I slap off the alarm and roll myself out of bed. Roll myself. As excited as I am for my date with my blondie girl, boy, whoever you say, doesn't matter. Couldn't she have let me sleep in another hour or two? No, the morning jog is very good for you. It helps you throughout the rest of the day. Oh well, the early bird gets the worm, as they say. Knowing that I don't have to be in for work does help my mood, though. I'm groggy, but I don't have a full day at the cafe ahead of me. A bowl of rice later, and I'm slipping in some shorts and a t-shirt that I set aside last night. Yeah, rice is good. It's very good for long-term energy. I actually said not to dress too fancy, so I'm wearing just enough to carry my wallet and my dignity. Grabbing an old pair of sneakers I had lying around, I tighten the laces and out the door I go. Yeah, trainers are good for 1 or 2 times, but you do really need some running shoes if you're going to do it full time. It's a swift walk to the train station where we agreed to meet. The place is fancy, having its own mini mall right next door. Ayase and I aren't the only ones to be meeting up for a run. As I wander through the mostly empty corridors, I catch the old group of friends heading out and conversing amongst each other. I wonder if Ayase-san ever meets up with Kazumi-san over here. I wonder if we'll be jogging with Kazumi as well. Please do. Anyways, it's a reasonable thing to assume from the way they chat and exercise is a regular part of their day. And you're here! The voice exclaims from behind me. I turn around and find Ayase with a big smile on her face, wearing her signature hoodie and a pair of athletic shorts. Early too? You couldn't wait to see me, could ya? I got here before you did, didn't I? Didn't want to keep my date waiting. Aww. Aww, when you squirm like that, Ayase, I can't help. I can't have my heart torn. Watching Ayase get so flustered is the epitome of cute. Her tomboyish charm dissolves away into a shy, girlish smile that would make Shinigami proud. A date? We're just jogging. This is our idea of a date, and I can't think of a better way to spend time with you. Me neither. Her flustered self disappears back into the abyss from which I summoned it. With any luck, this won't be the last I see of the adorable creature. Now, time for warm-ups. Ayase pulls us right back on track, eager not to waste any more time. Though warm-ups? Yes! You gotta get limbered or something like that in order to actually be able to jog. You can't just jog, you have to warm up. Aren't we jogging? Do we really need to warm up? Yes! Of course we do. You don't want to pull a muscle and have to be carried home, do you? No, I do not. Then warm-ups. We'll start over with some squats and then dive into some lunges. Sure. What about some jumping lunges? I don't really know what she means, but I'm sure I'll find out. Who would have thought one needs to warm up for jogging? Yep, with any form of exercise really you need warm-ups. Back when with my parents I'd occasionally ride my bike around the neighborhood. I never took the time to stretch before biking, and they had more than a few intimidating hills to pedal up. We start off with some hamstring stretches, which basically resemble the starting poses that championship runners get into before the race starts. Of course, that quickly turns into single-legged squats and I'm starting to sweat. The first few repetitions are easy enough, but as we go on, my legs and thighs start to burn. Next come the lunges, and I'm only going at half the speed that Ayase is. You do this every day? Every day. Though on work days I'm done by now. Wow, you're not even breaking a sweat. That comes with experience, baby. Of course. Having trouble with this got me sweating. Great, this doesn't bode well for me at all. Maybe I should have asked Ayase out to a ball game or something, but it's too late now. Besides, this is a part of who Ayase is. I want to get to know her better. I need to try and keep up with her. Alright, I think that's enough. Are you ready, Flarina-san? I take a few breaths. My forehead moist with sweat. Yeah, I'm good. You sure? I can get you something to drink. She's already taking pity on me, and we haven't even started running. Am I really this out of shape? Look, it's better to start now and keep going at it. No, I'm good. Ready when you are. If you're sure. She's worried about me, but I need to show that I can take care of myself. I'm just not used to the exercises, that's all it is. I'm not used to working these muscles. That's why I'm sweating. Jogging on the other hand, I'm not so out of shape that a run would kill me. I'm sure Ayase's speed it would. I gave Ayase a thumbs up. Let's run. Let's go then. Try to keep up. God, that's gonna be difficult. It'll be difficult to do. We both take off from the station at a steady pace. It takes me several minutes to get my breathing into rhythm, but it's not too difficult keeping up. The gentle breeze blowing through Akihabara helps me cool down too. My muscles are aching, but Ayase was right. The stretches are helping. I'm not suffering like I was before, and my legs have an extra spring in their stride. That's the importance of stretching. You always take this route? Depends. My earlier workouts, I'll take a different route. That's probably more crowded now though. We speak in short bursts, keeping our breathing timed with our jogging. I may not be much of an exercise guru, but I know enough about the importance of regulating one's airflow. Does Kazumi-san ever join you? Sometimes. His morning schedule conflicts with mine though. Didn't he mention something about a swimsuit? Ballerina-san? What? Ayase looks over to me. Her face heated, but not from the running. I'm not exactly sure what all this fuss is about with a swimsuit, but I know one thing for certain. Ayase would kill it in a swimsuit, hands on. Gee, that Kazumi-san. I fight back with a laugh, not once to antagonize her further. Alright, I'll let it go. But I am pretty jealous. Kazumi-san gets to spend so much time with you. Then come to the gym with me. I'll really whip you into shape. Maybe I will. Even with the sweat dripping down my forehead, it feels good to be out and about. Nowadays, it's far too easy to fall into a sedentary lifestyle. Even with the craziness that a cafe can sometimes bring, it's no replacement for staying healthy. I'll never be Schwarzenegger fit, but maybe I'll put on some muscle. We're moving at a brisk pace, but Ayase is starting to pull ahead. Hey Arnold. I know I'm slowing her down, but every time I fall behind, she adjusts her pace and is right by my side again. I like it if you come to the gym. I wouldn't miss spending more time with you, Clarina-san. I wouldn't mind, my bad. Her smile is so adorable. How am I supposed to review that? Then I'll be there. Really? Of course. As we jog, I see the cafe coming to view. It's almost weird seeing the place, knowing I won't be stepping inside to work today. Considering this is our first day off since I started, it throws me a bit of a loop. It's weird, isn't it? Not going into work today. I can't help but laugh. You know, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm going to be so confused tomorrow. Me too. I was all kinds of screwed up when you changed the schedules. I didn't like being home all that much. Ayase slows herself down a bit as she talks, allowing me to keep up with while continuing the conversation. I'm really starting to sweat, so the change of pace is appreciated. At the same time though, Ayase isn't one to talk about much about her home life. I know how hard it is for her with cross-dressing. Her family isn't very accepting of it, which is why she comes all the way out here. Probably very isolated being at home and not being able to be yourself. That's very bad. Everything okay at home? Anything I can do? No, just... The skirt has to come off, and trousers have to come on. You know, some things are better kept in the closet with my family. She's told me before how difficult things are for her. It just shocks me that people can be so ignorant about what their own children are passionate about. You should be supporting of your children's endeavors. Unless, of course, their endeavors are to be a serial killer, then please abandon those dreams entirely. I'm sorry to hear that. If it were up to me, I'd never see you in trousers. Ah, skittish. Ayase giggles from the explanation, but her smile doesn't hold. Almost as though she's questioning herself, like she's not sure what she should be here. Even my friends, I was afraid to tell them, because I might lose my spot on the team. But my friends, they were very, very, very supportive. They don't like it. They caught me looking at a fashion magazine once. I'm not big on fashion, I just thought some of the clothes were cute. I wanted to try some. Oh, they didn't support you. They don't talk to me anymore. Damn. Really? Can't people like different things and get along? If it weren't running right now, I would wrap Ayase in the warmest hug and hold on to her. Cross-dressing isn't for everyone, I get that. But you can at least appreciate people who want to pursue something that you may not otherwise be comfortable with. But to have such a negative reaction to someone because of it? Do they even know what they've done to Ayase? I'm sorry. Friends don't do that to each other. It's okay. I've gotten over it. And I get to work with so many beautiful maids. It's a longer ways away, sure, but I get to be happy. Ayase-san. A longer ways away? I'm sure she travels further just to avoid those people. There's a lot of trouble to go to, but it shows just how important this cafe is to her. How important Nancy, Hayasaka, and Sina are as well. And now I have you, Clarina-san. You have the best reason to come here. Took the words right out of my mouth. Maybe it's the running that's pounding my heart against my chest, but being next to Ayase, I don't want to leave her side. There's a special energy she carries with her. A bright, cheerful attitude and willingness to help others that goes unmatched. The fact that she's willing to travel further away from work and make less money speaks volume. Just being next to Ayase spreads a certain warmth through me that makes me want to do anything for her. To be there for her when she needs me. Say, mind if we take a small detour? Sure, why not? Where to? Instead of answering, Ayase turns away at a brisk pace and takes everything I've got just to keep up with her. I try to shout after the blondie, but she ignores me. Guess this has turned into a game of tag. Come on, Lex, don't fail me now. I throw all my all into catching the beautiful maid, hardly noticing the side street she's leading me down. It's only when I see Ayase paying at a gate I finally catch up and catch my breath. Where are we? It's a park, but with a big fancy garden inside. That explains the cost, more than likely admission fees to go towards paying for the upkeep of the garden. I've heard of places like these. They're supposed to be quite beautiful. How much is it? I start to pull up my wallet, but Ayase stops me. Are you going to pay for it? It's okay, I covered you too. Ayase-san, you didn't have to do that. It's okay, I wanted to. It's our date after all. She mentions the D word as she blushes. No, it doesn't begin with D. No, I mean, sorry, day. I thought this wasn't a date. She's trying so hard to show me a good time on our day off. When I realised the fee is 1,300 yen, my hand nearly goes to her wallet once more. I know Ayase is struggling with her finances. For her to cover the fee for both of us, I'm touched. I want to help. I don't want to insult her either. You sure you don't want me to pay? I already said it's okay. Come on. If you say so. It's a beautiful park nonetheless. I follow Ayase into the park and my breath is immediately taken away. It's beautiful. Small fields of flowers decorate the ground in neat rows. A narrow stone-cobbled trail leads us through the wide array of trimmed hedges, rose bushes, and many other flowers I cannot name. A simmering pond rests out among the flowers on one end, with birds coming and going as they love to please and do. We pass by the occasional park bench as we move through the calm, soothing park. While Ayase and I keep at a jog, we cut our speed in half. The owners discouraging running as they don't want people getting pushed into the flower beds or water, which is understandable. This place is amazing, Ayase-san. Do you come here often? Not really. Only on special occasions. I actually discovered this place by accident back when I first started at the cafe. Oh, really? I think the capital R might have some meaning behind it. Or it could just be a bug. Or typo, sorry. I'd gotten lost and just wanted to find the train station. I ended up on a side street and just happened across this little park. I don't know why I wasted the money on getting in. I was already so tight on cash, but seeing all the flowers and the birds really calmed me down, like I'd stepped into another world for a bit. Listen to Ayase that word. I know what she means. It's easy to lose oneself when in a stressful situation. Getting lost in a city you're not familiar with. I can only imagine the panic that must have set in. I think I'd gone crazy getting lost in Akihabara. Don't know what I would have done without GPS. I would have used my phone, but I let the battery run out. Kinda like the perfect storm. So I suppose you don't charge up your phone as much as you could do. But I'm happy I got lost. To discover a place this beautiful, talk about a happy accident. Kinda reminds me of the cafe. Why? Did you have another job offer? Something like that. The manager had been less than upfront with me about the cafe's finances. If he had told me, I probably wouldn't have accepted the job. Of course, that'd mean missing out on the wonderful blondie I have right on my side. Not that I can tell any of this. I'm glad you came to Girls Cafe. We continue on through the park. It's funny. With all the flowers, the cobblestone path, and all of the beautiful scenery, it's as if we stepped out of Japan and into a painting. Every so often we pass by a lone stranger at a bench, or an elderly couple holding hands on a wooden bridge. The serene atmosphere seems to drain one's troubles away. In fact, I'm quite disappointed when I eventually see the exit up ahead. We'll need to come here again, but next time, I'll pay the entry fees. You're on. She lets up a chuckle and we both head out, back into the streets of Akihabara. Once we're out of the park, Ayase gives a little warning as she immediately resumes her brisk jogging pace. I'm left in the dust for a moment before hurrying up to catch up with her. It's only then do I realise how wobbly my legs have become. Yes. Usually you only notice the wobbliness after the jog. I try to speak, but my body suddenly grows heavy. I haven't noticed it before, but my legs are burning up. My shirt is soaked with sweat and I can barely breathe. Slow down. You're going to faint. Oh, did I faint? Did I faint? I stumble and nearly fell over. Something braces my shoulder as my legs turn to jello. I say jelly, but jello is also a word. The world starts to spin and stop moving altogether. Everything's fuzzy, and I have to blink several times just to see what's going on. I think I overdid it. I hear myself say, Ballerina-san, are you okay? I find myself propped up against a street sign with Ayase leaning close, helping to keep me on my feet. I don't know. Suddenly I got really dizzy. Jeez, I thought this might happen. You should have said something. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention. What kind of person doesn't pay attention when they're running? I let out a laugh and attempt to balance myself on my own 2 feet. With legs wobbling side to side, it's like I'm standing on stilts or something. Ayase grabs a tighter hold of me and I wrap an arm around her to stop myself from dragging us both to the ground. Thanks. I managed to mumble out. Letting out a sigh, Ayase shakes her head. Come on, let's get you home. You live far from here? Fortunately, my head is on straight enough to recognize the part of town we're in. As luck would have it, we're not too far away from my apartment. 4 blocks that way, I think. I point in the general direction and Ayase lets me use her as a crutch while we're slowly heading back to my place. How are you this out of shape when you walk to work? Junk food, probably. Hey, that's bad. I admittedly don't stock my fridge with the healthiest of meals. That, and it's impossible to resist fixing myself a dessert from time to time at a cafe. I pay for it, of course, both with money and with calories. You're hopeless, Ballerina-san. Good thing I've caught you to set me straight. Ayase shakes her head in dismay while I have a good laugh. I'm trouble, I know, but honestly I couldn't think of a better way to spend my Sunday. I'm in pain, I'm dizzy, and I'm finally getting some feeling in my legs as we reach the door to my apartment's complex. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Jogging to exhaustion. We get into my apartment. I'm finally able to stand on my own. Legs are still shaky. At least I don't need Ayase to lean on anymore. But hopefully this time around we will not have to collect garbage off of the floor that Nancy would have put there otherwise. I'll get the shower going. You need to wash off so you don't get sick. She's not even sweating. Ayase sure is on a whole different level. I know she's been running far longer than I have, but still I can't help but be impressed. You don't have to trouble yourself. I try to tell Ayase she doesn't have to help me with this, but she ignores me and then wanders off into my bathroom. A few moments pass and I hear the sound of running water. Admittedly, I'm touched. Here I am causing so much trouble on our date, and Ayase is going out of her way to help me. I shouldn't be surprised. This is just what she does. Ballerina-san, are you coming or not? I hear her voice and spin around. She's standing right outside the bathroom door. Water sprinkled over her jogging clothes. I open my mouth to speak but stop. Wait, is she expecting me to get into the shower with her? I try to think of a response, but then notice in her hand she's holding something. It's a dark navy blue swimsuit and leggings. What are those? Yeah, what are those? These? Nothing. Ayase-san. She gulped. Her face turning beet red, she glanced around as if trying to think of a way of my questioning. Eventually, though, she resigns and holds a clothing clothes. I found them in that box. Oh no! That box in which we have yet to give back to the original owner. Ayase points to a cardboard box near the door. That box. That's a box of women's clothing that doesn't belong to me. There's a swimsuit in there. I didn't know you were into these kind of things. I wasn't. I mean, those aren't mine. The moving company gave me that box by mistake. I don't sound convincing at all. I'm looking at Ayase. I'm not sure she even believes me. To be honest, though, I'm not sure I would believe me either. This is how I got caught with such things. Did you say you wanted to see me in a swimsuit? I guess I did. Then get in the shower. We're wasting water. After stepping into the bathroom, I undress and make my way into the shower. Ayase has water running a little hot, but otherwise it feels quite good. My muscles relax and I'm soon seated, running a sponge over my body, rinsing off the sweat and soaping myself for a good scrubbing. This is also a good opportunity if anyone likes the idea of the 18+ scenario for an 18+ scenario. Is she really going to come in here? I look to the door and can see Ayase's silhouette undressing mere feet away. For me, she really is? Ah, mind if I help? Ayase walks in wearing the swimsuit and leggings. I'm stunned. The swimsuit hugs her hips and it fits perfectly around her slim figure. Her reddened cheeks and darting eyes just add to the cuteness levels it sure does. And what do you have to have that done out for? My tongue catches in my mouth and all I do is stare. Well, guess that's a yes. I swallow and give her a weak nod. Taking the sponge from my hand, she moves around behind me and starts scrubbing my back. I can feel the soft touch of her fingers slipping over the sponge, rubbing along my shoulders and down the curve of my spine. You're knotted up, stressed. No wonder you're nearly crooked out there. Me? You weren't even breaking a sweat. It takes all my willpower to focus on the conversation and not her gentle fingers brushing against my skin. Nope, don't want to focus on that at all. Not one bit. Long as I've trained, it'll take more than that to make me sweat. I would have been sweating by the end, though. She adds that last part a little too quickly. How much more was there? Oh, another 5 kilometers. 5? What? How much did we run? A little over 2, I think. I shudder. I could have died today. I can't remember the last time I went for a run. Probably need to count in years just to find that answer. Note to self, ask Ayase how far we're running next time. Seriously though, you're really tense. You alright? I look back and see the concern in her eyes. I overexerted myself out there and she knows it. I'm fine. Actually better now. I say, giving her a smile, but that brightens up Ayase's face. She smiles right back to me. Her fingers gliding over my shoulders, working out the kinks. Ah, that's really nice. You do this often? Her back rubs are surprisingly very good. My muscles relax to her touch, and she seems to know just where to apply pressure. It's impossible not to let out a relaxed sigh with how good her hands feel. Once in a while at the gym, really helps if someone pulls a muscle. With Kazumi-san? I ask, raising an eyebrow. Yes, but never in the shower. If you say so. This is a special service just for you, Florina-san. So don't tell anyone. My lips are sealed. I'm not going to spread this out to anyone. Good, because I don't do this for anyone else. Ayase presses her body in against my back and hugs me from behind. My face heats up and I freeze in place. She nuzzles her head against the back of my neck. I gulp. Ayase, thank you. Thank you for running with me today. I guess you're welcome? Thanks for carrying me home. I felt Ayase shaking her head. Sorry, his head. Her head against the back of my neck. No, it's fine. I'm just happy I got to spend time with you. Oh? I'm glad I got to spend time with you too. Even if I almost died. I wasn't going to let you die. But it was cute watching you try so hard. Hey! You'll do better next time. Only if you'll help me. Agreed. Ayase squeezed herself against me, and I feel her soft body pressed to mine from behind. I'm glad I'm facing away from her. It's easier to hide my blushing cheeks. She's so soft. We spend a little longer in the shower until finally I'm washed off and she's too embarrassed to stay. It's the sweetest ending to a near-death experience that one could have, I suppose, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. See you later, Florina-san. Ayase waves me off before eventually leaving. I check the clock and find it to be mid-afternoon. How long were we in the shower? Part of me wants to know, but the other part doesn't care. I'd happily go right back in if I knew she'd be in there. With Ayase gone, though, all I'm left is a warm, fluttery feeling in the pit of my stomach. I can't stop smiling. I've never seen Ayase so cute, so beautiful. I want to see her like that again. Monday can't come fast enough. Tomorrow cannot come fast enough. You skipped leg day, didn't you? You reached your first date with Ayase. Congrats. Days off sure are nice. Sunday turned out to be a relaxing day. What are you, man? In another timeline? And speaking of the devil, morning, Florina-san. It's Ayase, but devoid of her usual energy. Did something happen out of the floor? We're not that busy, and I never heard any raised voices. Good morning. Is everything alright? I'm sorry, Florina-san. What's this all about? About yesterday. Yesterday, I pushed you too hard. I was so excited about running. I never thought about your limits. That's it? Huh? This is what's bothering her. Sure, I nearly passed out from overexerting myself, but that's far from regretting any part of yesterday. In fact, it's because I nearly passed out that I got to see Ayase. Don't mention that, for goodness sakes, that's off-putting. Ayase-san, I don't regret anything that happened, especially almost dying on the sidewalk. You weren't that bad. No, but I felt pretty rough. But it's because I nearly passed out that I got to see... Oh my god, you mentioned it, for goodness sakes. So I'm not... Really, man? Florina-san. Her sudden jump from the mention of that swimsuit just tickles me. I can't help but laugh a bit. It's quite cute how easy Ayase can be teased. One just needs to know what buttons to poke out. Jeez. I'm sorry. I won't mention it again. But I meant what I said. I don't regret any of it. In fact, I was hoping we could have another date soon. Ah. Ayase shifts in place, a smile spreading over her lips. That right there is exactly why I want to be with this girl. Her beautiful emerald eyes, sometimes blue, shift back and forth, avoiding my gaze as she clasps her hands together. I promise to take it easy on you. I'll get that gym membership so you won't have to. I'll be your personal trainer then. Thank you, well, I wouldn't have it any other way. She announces proudly. Looks like I'll be in your care. Someone has to set you straight. For a moment, Ayase was back to her old, energetic self, poised to take over the world as it were, but something clicked in her head and once again she grew quiet. What is it? Does this mean we're dating? Dating? If dating means going on jogs and hanging out at the gym, if it means showering with Ayase, count me in. Movies always portray dating as overly lovely-dovely, candlelit dinners and rose-petal paths to big sparkling white bathtubs. I'm going to say this right now, dates are how you and your partner define the date itself. Whether it's sweaty. I was thinking of like sweaty as like jogging, but with any context, sweaty could be perceived differently. What do you think? I think so. I don't really do much dating. It shows. I'm not one to talk though. I don't do much day-to-day life. Oh my god, this is really small talk. But I'm glad I could do it with you. Me too. She's sweet. Too sweet, really. Honestly, I think I knew I'd fall for Ayase the moment I saw her. The energy she carries, the infectious laugh, and her dazzling eyes. This girl has me wrapped around her finger. She's even getting me to exercise. I almost forgot. Are we out of something? We're almost out of the triple cherry chocolate frosting. And what the heck is this? Ayase! Wasn't that like our special topping or something for the day? Yeah, that is. Eh? We're almost out. My mind blanks for a second and all of a sudden shift in topic. Shoot! I think I forgot to order it! With the festives on Saturday, I must have skimmed right past the stuff during inventory. Oh, cream! Yeah, that's my bad. I'll get an order placed. I hop on onto my computer and start filling out the order form so I don't forget. What should we do if we run out? What about the strawberry fudge? The strawberry fudge twist frosting. Maybe just switch to that? Oh, good choice. Everyone loves that frosting. It's basically why I chose it. Some customers stop by just for the special flavors of the day. To not have one available when we say we will, in a way that's breaking a promise to the customer. It's not the end of the world by any means, but damn, I should have caught that. Hopefully the cherry frosting will last us. I wouldn't bet on it. Gee, thanks for the confidence boost there, Ayase. In a good way, it's good that we set up because it means that people love it. I laugh and waver off, but it's also bad that we run out because then we won't be able to make any more dosh. Back to work, you. Save some of the energy for the cafe. Can't use it all, gonna need some for our workout. Ayase gives one final laugh before leaving my office. That girl. I just shake my head and chuckle. She is something else, alright. She's my something else. I better look into that gym membership. After finishing up the order for frosting, I do a bit of research on the gyms in Akihabara, not exactly work-related, but I keep my research brief. The owner will ring up. Hey, I'm just looking for your search history. What's the meaning behind local gyms in Akihabara? I write down a few places to look more into after work and then back to the grind. The day comes to a close, I think, and I'm the last one in the building. The girls have left, the tables are empty, and the evening glow of the sun is shining in through the windows. And I'm an official member of the local gym. No matter how hard I train, though, nothing gets my heart pounding faster than Ayase snuggling next to me. Funny how things work out sometimes. I'm the last guy I ever would have expected to find a cute cross-dressing maid for a girlfriend. Yeah, here we are. Well, better get the day started. So you walk by the gym as well, Kotori? Yeah, she's quite the girl, isn't she? You giggle. She's got a good head on her shoulders. Damn girl has more gas in the tank than my car. That's one reliable, economical car. I can't help but laugh. The first time I ran with Ayase, I swore I was going to die. Since then, Ayase has scheduled our runs to be shorter and further apart. It gives me more time to rest between each one, and more time to prepare for the next. Of course, when we finish our run, she goes off for the rest of hers. Someday I'll run the full distance with her. It's near impossible to keep up with her, but I know she's also struggling too. She does live further away, doesn't she? Yeah, it'd be easy on Ayase-san if she worked close to home, but the maid life is her way of life. Yeah. Listen, Ayase-san is a nice girl, but she can't stay where she's at. She needs to be around people that appreciate her, like you. I know. It doesn't need to be said. I know Ayase is strapped for cash, but that's not where I'm concerned. She's living with people who don't accept her for who she is. I need to do something about that. Thanks, Kotori-san. I'll take care of it. I don't know what to say. With everything Kotori is helping with, I owe this girl big time. We're not exactly out of the woods yet, but between myself, before maids, and Kotori, I'm feeling much better about our odds. Ayase-san is very lucky to have you, Flarina-san. Thanks. Just Kotori finishes her meal, so do our maids finish their fourth and final song of the concert. Flarina-san, I see if you haven't killed over yet. You're tougher than I thought. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Ayase shows up out of nowhere and basically congratulates me for not being dead. Congrats, you survived another day of hell. I'm kidding. Wow. Low bar. Then again, with how our workouts have progressed, maybe being alive is actually a compliment. And you have not ditched us for us, quote-unquote, betraying you when we told you about our finances and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I'll probably be bedridden if your workout regimens haven't toughened me up. That's what good exercise will do to ya. Now, if we can get rid of that excess flab, you'd be perfect. Hey, I'll have you know that I'm perfectly flabbed. I'm not really, actually. Are you calling me fat? No. Just that you're still not eating healthy. I can't help but laugh. It's cute seeing Ayase get all flustered over our conversation. She didn't offend me in the slightest when she mentioned my flab. Matter of fact, she's right. I still eat too much junk food, but seeing her fidget like that is too much to pass up. I'm kidding. Though if you've got dieting tips, I'm all ears. I don't need all this gut. I slapped my stomach for effect. While exercising is certainly helping me with my stamina and strength, it won't do much for weight loss on my current diet. Of course. I can point you to all kinds of food you can eat. Even set up a schedule for you too. Great, we can work on it after the day ends. Really, I'd do anything just to spend more time with Ayase. After tonight, I should be caught up enough with work where things can get back to normal as well. How are you doing with things? I know the pay hasn't been all there these past few weeks. It's worked out. Thank you so much what you did give me. I said I'll do anything to keep this place open. I meant it. I know. But I wanted to make sure you're taken care of, Ayase-san. Thank you. Leaning, she wraps her arms around me in a warm hug. Since we started dating, Ayase has become much more affectionate. Not that I mind. On the contrary, I love being able to hug my girl like this. But I also know how much that money means to her. It made things tight on my end, but I'm glad I can help Ayase out. You need to let me know if you need anything. Okay? I will. Alright then. Ayase gives me another one of her smiles and then heads off back to work. She really is a special girl. Out of everyone, she probably has the most energy. All that running and training serves her well here. Today, Ayase has spent much of her time going back and forth between the kitchen and tables. She's like a machine. It's hard to stop watching her work. However, I have work of my own to do. Focusing back on my computer, I go back to typing and filling out paperwork. Flarina-san! You got a minute? I turn just as I'm about to head home and find Ayase standing before me. The beautiful blondie of 4 and 4 shifts in place, blushing. Cute. Of course, I'm in no hurry to go anywhere, so I give her a nod. For you, I've got 2 minutes. Thanks. I wanted to thank you for everything. I was kind of freaking out about the whole concert. But if we'd have closed, I don't know what I would have done. Ayase-san, even if we had closed, I'd been right there for you. I know. But this place means a lot to me. Of course, I know how much it means to her. Ayase has already told me back home. She's not exactly encouraged to cross-dress. To come all this way just to cross-dress as a maid, I can only imagine how Ayase would have felt had the cafe closed down. And now it means even more to me, because it's gotten me closer to you. Aww. Ayase-san. I pull the maid in for a hug and wraps my arms warmly around her. She snuggles against my jacket and presses her arms against my shoulder. In the cool night air of Akihabara, I cling to my maid. I feel the same. and I'll never ever let this cafe close. We stay pressed together for a bit longer. When Ayase does eventually pull away though, it's only so she can stare up into my eyes with those sparkling emeralds of hers. Flarina-san? Could I stay with you tonight? The question is so out of the blue that it takes me a moment to process what she just asked. Of course. I'm glad we don't have a multiple choice scenario here because this is canonical. When I ask that Ayase doesn't say a word, she just wraps herself around my arm and snuggles in against me. The strength of the athlete though. She just about cuts off circulation to my arm and I have to wedge it around in her grasp just to keep the fiend in my fingers. Once we're off though, I lead Ayase through Akihabara. Not once does she let go. Not once does she pull away from me. Only when we reach my apartment does she pull away so that I can unlock the door and let us both in. But I want to be like this a little longer. You really think you'll win against me? I have to save my pride somehow, don't I? Too bad it won't be today. I watch from across the cafe as Ayase drops herself into a chair across from a familiar looking man. It takes me a few minutes to recognize him. He's one of Ayase's regulars and a real sports guy. Ayase drops her elbow onto the table and the older man grabs her hand. Another arm wrestle, I can't help but laugh. How many maid cafes out there have their staff getting challenged to arm wrestling matches by customers? I doubt there are that many. I think we might have the market cornered on that one. You ready? I'm not losing this time. Do your worst. Isn't it do your best? The two lock eyes and suddenly their biceps tense. Even from my little corner booth, I can see the older man flinching when Ayase's smile widens. Thought you weren't going to lose. I'm just getting warmed up. The man grips on the edge of the table and attempts to throw his weight into his arm. To my surprise, it works. Ayase's arm bends back with the man gaining an advantage over my cute blondie. Whoa, you really bulked up. Knew I had to train if I was going to beat you. Several onlookers gather around to watch. Fortunately, they stay clear of my view and I'm able to watch the whole thing. Ayase's hand is pushed down so close to the table, her knuckles almost touch. She's going to lose. Even our challenger is starting to laugh as he pushes down on that delicate hand to finish her off. Not bad. Tightening her grip, Ayase slowly and oh so slowly starts pushing against the man's devastating arm. Her opponent's victorious smug vanishes as he's pushed back up until both arms are vertical again. Onlookers cheer as sweat glistens from the brows of both combatants. With one powerful heave, Ayase throws down the man's arm and claims victory in the match. I'll let you win this battle, but I won the war. The crowd erupts in cheers and both Ayase and the older gentleman share a good laugh. I shake my head and go back to work for exactly why I've abandoned my office. When I need to get on a call with the owner or talk to the vendors, then I'll sneak back. All closed up, Flarina-san? What? Already? I didn't mean to leave you girls like that. Don't worry about it. I did your share of duties. You really want to go jogging that bad? I mean, don't you? Recently I've gotten into good enough shape that I can actually survive a full jog with Ayase without collapsing. She still takes a slower pace, but I'm damn proud of all of the progress I've made. I've got more energy, I feel healthy, and best of all, I feel loved. But most of all, I am in good shape and I feel loved. Of course, I've been looking forward to it all day. Then what are we waiting for? Ayase's enthusiasm is just so infectious. I can't help but laugh and nod my head. Alright. Let me get my stuff put away. I close up my laptop and return to the office. It's funny how every little conversation with that girl gets my heart pounding. She'd come into work disappointed because they've got the local gym closed for the day due to maintenance. All I did was ask about a jog instead, and Ayase was nothing but smiles for the rest of the day. Shutting down the laptop, I tidy a few odds and ends before exiting the office for the day. And when I step out of my office, though, I find Ayase standing in the corner of the dining area, suddenly very troubled by something. She hasn't even changed out of her maid uniform yet. Everything alright? Yeah, you seem to be a little bit on the concerned side. Flareena-san, can I tell you something? Sure, of course. Flareena-san, you're really great, and you've done so much for everyone here. You mean the world to me, but... I gulp. Is this one of those situations where she admits, but I'm already seeing someone else? Or worse, am I about to be friend-zoned? I keep my mouth shut, letting a tense chill settle over the air. When you first started, I was sucking up to you a lot, because I thought you might fire someone, and I needed this job really bad. Ayase. Then I realized it. You're actually a good person. You did everything you could to keep this place open. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry I manipulated you. What? I was just so scared. I wasn't trying to make you like me. Ayase. When I say her name, Ayase closes her mouth and gazes up at me. She trembles between the table as if expecting me to chew her out for what she did. As happy as I am for Ayase to finally confess this, I can't stand seeing her so upset. I actually suspected you were up to something like that, but Ayase-san, I know why you did it, and I forgive you. Just like that? But Ayase-san, I love you. Even if things sorted out that way between us, started out that way between us, that doesn't mean everything is fake, does it? Of course not. I chuckle. That's what I thought. I didn't think you helped me in the shower because you wanted to keep your job. No, definitely not. By that point, I'd fallen in love. Ayase's voice trails off and I'm smiling from ear to ear, exactly as I thought. With everything we've been through together, how could I ever think she was just using me? I'm surprised though. She's been this worried about deceiving me. How long has it been eating away at her? Putting Ayase in against me, I cradle her into a hug. She's had it rough, more so than some of the others. As strong of an exterior as Ayase has, inside she's fragile like a porcelain doll. The fact that she's worried so much over deceiving me is proof of that. But I know something else is eating away at her. Ayase-san, you don't have to answer me now, but I'd like you to stay with me. What? You mean like... I mean, move away from your parents and move in with me. Be with people who love you for you are. So for who you are. But Flareena-san, Ayase, I want to be with you. And I don't want you to hide anything that makes you, you. Aww, lovely. She's ready to cry. I think of everything we've said, and asking her to stay with me is what hit the girl the hardest. Yeah, exactly. She just wants to be herself, and her family is denying her of that. A chance for Ayase to step away from people who don't appreciate her is what will make the biggest difference in this maid's cafe. I love you, Ayase-san. Taking the girl's hand, I pull her in for a kiss, brushing my fingers through her soft blonde locks as our lips meet. She blinks her eyes open in pure shock, but she doesn't pull away. In fact, I swear I can hear her heart pounding over my own. I love you too, Flareena-san. She whispers back onto my lips, and as I kiss her again, finally hearing those three magical words put my head into a spin. It's so much, but when I do pull away, I can barely summon a response. In the middle of a cafe, where so much has started, this right here is the ending I only ever dreamed of. Whether we are out for a jog, pumping irons at the gym, or standing right here in each other's arms, Ayase Yuzu will never fail to take my breath away. She is the love of my life, and this cafe we stand in is our home. Our home. Fall in love with Kaido. that word? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Okay, we're going to close it off for today. I really loved Ayase's route. Just as short of as Nanase's route, but I really love the interactions with Ayase, and she really gives a lot of emotions behind what she is going through. Just like with Nanase as well. Both Nanase and Ayase have something in common, is that they both had trouble with family related stuff. Obviously Nanase's is quite in the past because she no longer has parental figures, but they both have some kind of family trauma in which they have they're either going through or have been going through. So that is something in which to consider for themselves. But are all 4 characters got family issues? I don't think Hayasaka has, considering her and her sister get along very well. But I don't know about Sina. Does she have any family related issues? Don't know. But we're going to find out who we are going to be pursuing in the next time. And I'm going to give you a clue. We are hovering over it right now. Thank you so much for watching. And we're going to be seeing each other in the next time of Girls, Girls, Girls. Let me know what you think about this game so far. Please, by all means, purchase this game for yourselves. Play this game for yourselves. And let the developers of this game know what you think about this game. What are the good things about this game? What are the not so good things about this game? And what can be done to improve? What could be tweaked? Etc. Stuff like that. Don't pirate games. That's horrible. Thank you so much for watching, you lovely maids. And as always, take care of yourselves.